At Abydos in Upper Egypt, the Temple of Seti I is a masterpiece of New Kingdom masonry. Behind it sits something else entirely, a structure known today as the Osireion. Its core is built from massive red granite blocks, some weighing close to 100 tons, quarried far upstream, floated down the Nile, and fitted into a sunken rectangular chamber with almost no decorative carving. The temple around it is younger by perhaps 1,000 years. Later kings wrote their names on walls they could claim. The granite core still reads like a foundation they inherited, not a project they fully authored. New Kingdom temples are usually layered limestone and sandstone, decorated with reliefs and inscriptions. The Osireion is bare granite. It sits at a lower elevation than the temple, as if the temple floor was raised to accommodate an existing ruin. Flinders Petrie and Margaret Murray, who re-excavated the site in the early 20th century, noted the construction style looked closer to Old Kingdom mastabas than anything from Seti's time. That observation has produced 120 years of unresolved argument. The Osireion's granite came from Aswan quarries, roughly 130 miles upstream on the Nile. Moving 100-ton blocks that far, then lowering them into a sunken chamber, is extraordinary for any period of Egyptian history. Seti's temple dates to around 1300 BCE. The lower structure remains stratigraphically older, and its bare megalithic style does not match the relief-covered limestone of the temple above. The numbers do not sit together easily. Egyptologists have spent more than a century deciding how much of that discomfort belongs in the official story. One reading treats the Osireion as a symbolic tomb of Osiris, designed by Seti's architects to mimic an archaic style, and flooded with Nile water for ritual use. A second reading treats the granite core as genuinely older, with Seti's team adding the surrounding temple and a vaulted ceiling to enshrine it. The truth probably lives between the two. What is certain is that someone decided this was a place worth raising a temple over, and they did it on terms set by stones they did not place. Mainstream Egyptology leans toward a New Kingdom construction date, with the archaic look deliberate and the flood chamber built for Osiris ritual. Dissenters answer that imitating a style is easier than explaining why no comparable New Kingdom project assembled 100-ton granite blocks this way. Add the lower floor level, the scarce inscriptions on the core, and the feeling that Seti's temple was fitted around something already there, and the room for argument stays open. The Osireion is awkward because each theory explains some of the evidence and leaves the rest on the table. That is what a real archaeological mystery looks like. Every measurement exists. Every block has been photographed and catalogued. What is missing is a clean account of who placed 100-ton granite in a sunken chamber at Abydos and why. Mainstream answers exist, and they are reasonable. They are also incomplete. The Osireion earns its place in the Impossible Stonework series not because it is impossible, but because the easiest reading of its stones refuses to settle into the easiest reading of its date. Honest archaeology is built on what can be measured. The Osireion's blocks can be measured, its style can be compared to Old Kingdom and New Kingdom work. Its date cannot be cleanly resolved without choosing which evidence to trust first, the temple context above, or the granite grammar below. That choice still defines camps in Egyptology. Viewers who want a closed case should look elsewhere. Viewers who want a real mystery, stones that are real, measurements that are real, and an answer that is still contested after a century of digs should remember this place. Roman columns on Lebanese megaliths at Baalbek, Andean blocks at Pumapunku cut with a precision that still startles engineers, Egyptian granite under a New Kingdom masterpiece at Abydos. The pattern repeats across continents and millennia. The builders we can name keep arriving at foundations they did not pour, and temples that still feel older than the names carved onto them. Follow for more forgotten weird history.